That's right! Welcome to the side of the ring because it's time for some ringside rumors. 3 top rumors for you, ladies and gentlemen. Without further ado, we're just gonna jump straight into it. For what it's worth, Drew McIntyre, quote, completed the process to become a naturalized American citizen during his time off, says PW Insider. No update on negotiations with WWE, however. So the only thing that I really knew about Drew McIntyre was the fact that he was like under the weather. I think the last time that I talked about him, he was having like a stomach issue, and that's why we haven't seen him in quite some time. I didn't know, however, I think maybe I like glanced at it and then went back to what I was doing. I didn't know that his contract was up. I think I did know at one point, and I just completely forgot because everything else was going on and I hadn't heard about it in a while. So I didn't know that his contract was up and they were not negotiating a new deal. I had no idea about that. So I'm just learning. Well, yeah, I'm just learning about this now, you know. I didn't really know that Drew McIntyre was like, hey, I'm more than likely gonna be like on my way out of here, you know. And I think it was Dave. I think Dave was saying like he's sort of using that as like a tactic to sort of see if WWE will like change up his contract or anything like that. I don't really think that, I don't know. I'm not WWE. I can't really sit here and say like, oh, they're more than likely going to keep him or they're going to get rid of him. If I'm WWE, I would keep him, you know, but at the same time, if it's like Edge, you know what I'm saying? If it's like he himself is thinking to himself like, you know, I'm probably going to get the heck out of here, you know. Then at the end of the day, there's not really much that I can say about that, you know. So we really just have to wait and see if WWE and Drew McIntyre will come to some type of agreement. And if they don't, there's nothing wrong with that. And you know what? Good luck to Drew McIntyre and all his future endeavors. Our next top rumor, pay-per-view buys for Double or Nothing are, quote, virtually identical to how this year's Revolution was tracking in the week after the show, says the Wrestling Observer newsletter. If that trend holds, the estimate is for 130,000 to 135,000. That would be a drop from last year. I personally don't see a problem with this. My thing is that, like, it's not always going to be the same. I think the, like, problem is that, like, it's like a dip, and, you know, everybody who sees stuff like this is going to go to like the extreme in the sense of like, is AEW, I don't use my hands a lot anymore. I don't know why. I think it's because in my brain I don't feel like I have enough space, but I do. I can move my hands around. I don't know what it is. You know what it is too? I'm fiddling with my hands under the desk. I'm just like twiddling my thumbs, like literally I'm like twiddling my thumbs. So, you know, sorry, I just wanted to, like, I feel like putting my hands back down. I don't know what it is. Anyway, the point is, I really don't think that this is a big deal. I really don't want to like take this to the extreme, and I don't want to like make a big faff about this, because at the end of the day, this is what's going to happen. You're going to have like a good week, and then you're going to have a bad week, and then you're going to have a great week, and then you're going to have an absolutely terrible week, and then you're going to have a so-so week, and then you're going to keep having a so-so week, and then it's going to get a little bit bad, but then it's going to be actually really good. To sit here and be like, oh, that's a terrible number and all that, like, what do I know? You know what I mean? Like, I know like next to nothing, especially when it comes to like numbers like that, you know? So if you're Dave Meltzer or what's his name? Not Brian Alvarez. The guy, Andrew Zarian. If you're Andrew Zarian and you know more about that sort of stuff, feel free to jump into the comments and be like, oh, Ed, this is why this is such a horrible situation. But other than that, AEW, I feel like, is doing fine. You know what I mean? And I don't think that my main point is I really do not think that anybody really should be getting like up in arms about, you know, the numbers, you know, that we're seeing. Our final top rumor on his What Happened When podcast, Tony Schiavone said his AEW contract is up in April of next year. It'll be really interesting to see what he does. I don't necessarily think that he's going anywhere. I say this all the time because we don't know. You could sit here and be like, oh, he's going to WWE. He's going to Ring of Honor. He's going to CZW. You could sit here and say that until the cows come home, but you don't know. You don't know that. You don't have Tony Schiavone's number on speed dial. You know what I mean? Like, you're not JR. You can't just go up to Tony Schiavone and be like, hey, where you going, Skivone? You can't do that. At the end of the day, folks, we just have to wait and see what it is that he, you know, wants to do. And even if he doesn't want to do anything, we have to respect his wishes. And we just got to move on without him. The ship's just got to keep going, you know, and there's nothing wrong with that. And I know that for a fact that Tony Schiavone understands that, and there's nothing wrong with it. Moving over to our minor rumors, our first minor rumor, BWE claims Cody Rhodes wanted to do a dog collar match against Brock Lesnar, but it was rejected. I like the idea that everywhere Cody Rhodes goes, he's just got a dog collar just, you know, hanging behind him, you know, and he's just sort of walking up to, come on, right? I mean, it's not around my neck, it's around his neck, you know, he's yanking, I'm yanking, you know, come on, you know. What can I say? He really likes the dog collars. Well, I mean, I don't think it's him. I think it's just the fact that he was just like, you know, let's try something. Because I don't think I've seen a dog collar match in WWE ever. I think the last time that was a thing, it was an F instead of an E, you know? So I appreciate that, you know, he's trying to branch out and, you know, do something different with the stipulations and stuff like that. I don't necessarily know why WWE would not allow that. My best guess is that it's a bit too extreme. That's the best. Like, they're not going to do an Anarchy in the Arena match with the tacks in the mouth and the exploding foot. Like, they're not going to do that. But, yeah, I don't necessarily know why they were, like, not okay with it. That seems a little bit odd. If I'm WWE, I'd be like, yeah, sure, why not? You know, let's see how it does, you know? But at the end of the day, you know, that's just what they decided to go with. Our next minor rumor, WWE also claims there have been discussions of AJ Styles being, quote, more aggressive and determined, but it's not confirmed. It sounds like AJ Styles could potentially be going through like a character change. I don't really mind that. I would like to see more of AJ Styles. There's a lot more characters more wrestlers that I would like to see. Mia Yim is one of them. I can't really name all of them off the top of my head, but I'm really one of those people. I noticed that I'm one of those people that's like, all right, we've seen them. We get it. We know about Strowman Express. We know that he's limitless. You know what I mean? Like, we know. We get it. Give us someone. Bring Zack Ryder back. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. Bring back Piper. Like, give someone else the spotlight, for the love of God. I've been seeing this guy for the last, 8 weeks, man. Like, we get it. We get Becky Lynch. We get it. Becky, you're the man. You're great. I'm not saying that you're, cat piss or anything like that. I'm not saying that. All I'm saying is that just go over there for, 5 minutes, sit down. We're gonna bring someone else in, and if they don't do well, flick them away, and then, and we'll just bring some, rotate. That's all I'm saying. I mean, I don't know. Nothing's been confirmed, so there's not really much that I can say towards this, you know what I mean? The hope is that we could potentially see AJ Styles with a different character. Maybe he cuts his hair again, and he comes out with the, what's it? It's not the shark tooth, is it? It's called something. It's got a name, but I forget what it is. But, maybe he comes out and he's, wearing all blue again, and he's got the sleeveless hoodie over and all that sort of stuff. I'd love to see that, but that's just me, though. So there's one more minor rumor, but it's literally the exact same. So you remember when I was talking about everybody loved Jamie Hayter because she was wrestling with a torn spine. She had scoliosis and everybody was like, great, that's literally that. So we don't necessarily need to talk about that. I just wanted to throw that in there just to clarify. I don't really think I need to clarify that, to be honest. Oh, no, because it's one more rumor, and I didn't say it was the minor rumor. So that minor rumor that I just talked about, that was the final minor rumor. I forgot that this one we've already spoken about. So I just wanted to clarify that just to let everybody know. What do we talk about? Cody Rhodes wanted to do a dog collar match, and WWE was like, no. That's it. I love that. That is literally it. Cody Rhodes was like, and they were like, absolutely not. I don't know why, but I just, reading that and saying that in that manner was just really funny to me because that's exactly what happened. WWE also claims there have been discussions of Styles being more aggressive and determined. Again, I love to see Styles doing something different. I love to see the wrestlers do something different. I love to see new wrestlers. I'm not saying that the WWE has to completely change everything every single week, but eventually it's all right, you know what I mean? That could just be me, and I'm perfectly fine being, the one guy on the island. I'm perfectly fine with that, but that's just how I feel at the end of the day. Drew completed the process of becoming a citizen, right? And there's no update on negotiations with WWE. Again, it's the same exact thing with Tony Schiavone. Wherever he decides to go, you kind of just have to, respect his wishes. I don't necessarily know if WWE are going to actually negotiate a new contract or not. Buys for Double or Nothing are virtually identical. This year's Revolution was tracking. Again, I don't know if that's a good thing, a bad thing. My whole thing is yeah, man, yeah, you're going to have a week where you make a bunch of money, and then you're going to have a week where you make nothing, and then you're going to have a week where you make, I could have made more, and then you're going to have a week where you make, wow, I made way more than I thought, and then you're going to have a week where you make absolutely, you're just dirt. You know what I mean? That happens. I don't see how that is like a gigantic thing. I don't think that I'm supposed to be reading that far into it. But my thing is that, like, that's happened a lot. Not the thing of like actually no, that has happened. And then I'll go on like the internet, and then people will be like, is this the end of AEW? You know what I mean? Is WWE winning? You know, and then you go on Twitter and it's like, oh Jesus, you know. So like there are people, my whole thing is like there are going to be people who see this and like take it to the extreme. And Tony Schiavone said his AEW contract is up in April. At the end of the day, I don't necessarily know what Tony Schiavone is going to do. I don't necessarily know what Tony Schiavone wants to do, right? Like I keep saying, because I say this all the time, I don't understand why anybody expects me to just sort of sit here and be like, this is what they should do, and this is why I think they should do it. I mean, you know, if somebody is like, hey, I'm thinking about, you know, eating healthier, then it's like, okay, well, this is what I think you should eat, you know. But other than that, Tony Schiavone is more than welcome to go wherever he feels like it, and he's more than welcome, you know, to not go anywhere, you know. I love when they do that. It's like, you know what, I'm done. I'm just going to go out in the field, and I'm going to sit in the meadow, and I'm just going to watch clouds go by. Great, do that. You've been in the business for a very long time, and you're old, and I'm sure you're tired, and I'm sure you don't feel like talking anymore, you know. So, well, I don't necessarily know what they're going to do, so only time will tell, and we'll have to wait and see. Folks, that's going to do it for this episode. I hope everybody enjoyed this episode and has a wonderful tonight and also a wonderful tomorrow. And also, big hugs. Big hugs all around.